Guys, welcome back to another video, and today I want to share with you some recent Xbox 360 pickups here. Now, the Xbox 360 is a console that I never really collected for until just recently, and I kind of want to talk about that in this video. I didn't grow up with any Xbox consoles, and it's honestly kind of the console line I kind of not really avoided, but just never really owned myself. I always played this one at friends' houses and family members' houses, but I never had an original Xbox and I never had a 360. Until now, as you can see here, I have this very nice black Xbox 360 Slim, I think is what this model was called. It's obviously not the original white one that is plagued with issues, but this is the nice one that still works here in 2025. But I've been kind of discovering my love for this console here, and I have been having quite a bit of secondhand nostalgia from the memories I have playing this machine with friends over the years, and it's just kind of cool to be collecting for it now because these games are really cheap and they're still a ton of fun. So I want to share just my little collection here of games that I bought recently. This is not my entire Xbox 360 collection. I did get this console here at a garage sale back in, I want to say, 2017 or 2018. I paid about 50 bucks for it, and I bought a few games for it back in the day, but it's really just been sitting in storage collecting dust, and just recently I decided to dig it back out and, just enjoy some of the nice, simple games from this era, back when you just put in the disc and you played the game and it was fun, and that was that. No drama. So let's look at some of the games that I have picked up for this thing in recent years, and I hope you enjoy. So I want to start off here talking about the Halo games, which is one of those series that is just synonymous with Xbox, especially the Xbox 360. So here's Halo 4, but it's these three right here that I actually just recently picked up as a bundle on eBay because I do want to play through the whole series. I've really been getting into shooters a lot more recently. It was kind of a genre that I always kind of avoided back in the day because I was more of a Nintendo kid. I liked my platformers and stuff, but recently I have been enjoying shooters, especially the ones from this era, and they're all super cheap now and super fun to collect. So I've got Halo Reach here. I paid about, I want to say $25, and I got these three games here. We got then Halo 3, which was the first Halo game on the 360. Super excited to get into this. Got the manual and everything. Everything is all in there. Looks like there's, I'll open that up. It looks like there's some kind of poster in there. There's a receipt from the previous owner. Looks like, this is crazy. This is from, not even from the state that I live in, which is pretty interesting. Well, I guess I did buy this on eBay, so it makes sense. They bought Halo 3 and a Halo 3 strategy guide. That is so crazy. Man, I miss the era of strategy guides, but, if they were still a common thing, I would probably need an entire room just for strategy guides in my house. But, okay, we got a little pamphlet here. Love the artwork on these games. Very cool, but very not what I was into during this era. I was very much into my Pokemon, my Mario, Sonic, all the colorful, cute characters. I was not interested in stuff like this, but nowadays I'm kind of just interested in everything, as you can probably tell from my channel. So Halo 3 ODST, I was always very confused as to what this was, and honestly I still kind of am, but not really. I mean, I can see you get a new campaign, new multiplayer, so I am mostly picking these up to play the campaigns. I did just play a little bit of the very first Halo through the Master Chief Collection with my friend Jacob, who has been getting mentioned in my videos a lot lately. He is kind of a big part of why I have the secondhand nostalgia for the 360, because I honestly played this game a lot with him, or not this game, but this console a lot with him in high school. And then here we have Halo 4, and as you can see, I paid $2 for it, basically. Yep. We've got 2 discs. Don't see multi-disc games very often anymore. That's pretty cool. But one thing I did want to mention is, yeah, we were playing through a bit of Halo 1, but I'm thinking I want to jump into the campaign on Halo Reach, play through that one myself, because I was kind of looking for a bit more of a modern experience, and I do know now that this is like a prequel to the series from what I understand. It's probably crazy hearing someone who knows so little about Halo, which is such a popular franchise. But like I said, I just missed the boat on these, but I'm happy to jump on now when they're nice and cheap, and modern gaming is what it is at the moment. Things are a little crazy here, so I'm happy to go back and be playing some old games like this. And next up, the other shooter series, which is synonymous with the Xbox 360, is the Gears of War games here. I have the trilogy here. I picked these two up at a Salvation Army, and actually that's where I got that copy of Halo 4 as well, because it had the same sticker on it. I forgot about that. Just happened to go in there one day, and they had a huge stack of Xbox games that a lot of them had this big sticker on it, meaning they were from Microsoft's store or something like that. But I paid about $2 for all the games that I picked up in that bundle, and that was just last summer. But I picked these up and just did not have the time to play them. I was working that really crappy job, and I was just mentally exhausted every day after work. But things are much better now. But I actually did just start playing the very first Gears of War here, which is funny because they just remade this game a second time, and it's out on PlayStation and stuff now, which is insane. I was never even a huge fan of these games or anything, because like I said, I never played any of these back in the day, but even for me, it's weird seeing Gears of War on PlayStation now. But hey, I think that's cool. More people get to experience it. I think that's always a good thing. And I've been really enjoying this one. I'll definitely be talking about this one in a future episode of Backlog Journal. And I'm really excited to be playing through this series. I'm not super far into it yet, but I'm having a good time. I got the first two here at the same time, like I said, at a Salvation Army, both complete. Got all the stuff inside the case here, which is really nice to see. And then we also have, now I just picked the third one up off of eBay because I was like, you know what, the remake's coming out. People might be wanting to go back and purchase these. So I was like, you know what, let me just get myself a copy while it's still only like a $7 game. So I went and got the third one here too. I know there's still Judgment on the 360, and then there's 4 and 5 on the Xbox One. I'll definitely pick those up eventually as well, but I figured as long as I just have the first 3 here, I'll definitely be spending, plenty of time just playing through these alone, so don't need to rush and get another 3 games as well to add to the old backlog. So there's the Gears of War games. 2 other games I just randomly found at Salvation Army were Project Gotham Racing 3 and 4. Back when I was a kid, I remember seeing these in the stores and thinking that they were somehow related to Batman because it has Gotham in the title. I thought these were Batman racing games, but they're not. To be honest with you, I don't know where the name comes from, but it's not Batman. I have been playing quite a bit of Project Gotham Racing 3 here, really enjoying it. Once again, I was never super into like the more realistic racing games like this, but it's just got those 360 vibes that I really, only experienced basically secondhand back in the day. And I've just been enjoying this little, driving game here, this racing game. It's just, you put it in, it plays, there's no big downloads or anything. It's great. And then we got the sequel here, which I have not played yet, but, whenever I feel like just driving a fast car, I've been popping this one in after work, and it's been a good time. Let's crack open this one here and see what it looks like. All the big, thick manuals that we will never, ever see again in the future. Who knows, even with physical gaming, where that's going to be in the next 10 years. I mean, it's kind of freaky to think about, but, we'll always have this old stuff. That's why I'm, I just collect things that I'm personally interested in as I see them, when they're cheap and stuff. Like this game here, Ninjablade, which is a From Software game that I just thought looked really interesting. It was a little bit pricier. It was like, I think I paid $20 or $30 for this one on eBay. But I was just like, you know what? This game, you can't play it on any other platform. And this, if 360 games do start to get expensive, this is probably one that's going to get expensive. So I was like, you know what? Let me just pick this one up. I like From Software. I like weird ninja games and stuff like that. It just looks cool. It looks like very sci-fi kind of Ninja Gaiden style game. So I picked that one up as well. Next up here, we have the Lost Planet games. We got Lost Planet 1, Extreme Condition. This is the Platinum Hits version because it has some extra content on the disc. That was a nice thing that a lot of Xbox games always did back in the day, is if games did have extra content, they would usually release a version with everything on the disc later on. Not always though, but it was something that we would see more often with them. So pick that up. These were not a bundle, they were sold separately on eBay, but these were like $10 each, so can't complain. These were games that I've always personally been interested in. I just think they look cool. There's like, you control a mech, a big robot, and you're just blasting monsters and stuff on an alien planet. Looks like something that I would be super into. I love stuff like that. And they were cheap, and they're also on the PS3, but I don't know, they just look like 360 games to me, so I was like, you know what, I'll get them on the 360. There's a third one as well that I did not pick up. People seem to not like that one as much, but again, it was just the case where I was like, you know what, let me just get the first two. If I really like them, I'll get the third one at a later date. But yeah, Lost Planet looks pretty interesting. This one here is Enchanted Arms. This is one of the only JRPGs on the 360. Obviously, there's a lot more popular ones, like Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. I do have those as well. I'm not showing them here today because I bought those a long time ago when I was working at GameStop back when I was a teenager, and then just never got around to playing them. That's another story I wanted to share. I used to have a white original 360, but it did get the red ring of death. My uncle gave it to me, and I played around on it a little bit, and then it got the red ring of death, and then I stopped using it, obviously, and it's just been in the basement in a box. So this is Enchanted Arms. I do believe this one is on PS3 as well, but this version was cheaper, and I was like, you know what? You can pop it into an Xbox One, I think, and maybe it'll have better frame rates, so I just picked this version anyway. It looks interesting. The environments in this game look really beautiful. I believe it has like fixed camera angles and stuff, so it kind of reminded me of like a more modern PS1 game, which I thought was really cool. And next up we have, I'm just gonna slide them on screen here, we have the Dragon Age games, which I purchased pretty much exactly a year ago. I made a really random video where I played this game right here, Dragon Age, for the first time, and just kind of gave my impressions on it, which is something I want to start doing more of. I love making my backlog journal videos where I just talk about games I've been playing, but I do also want to make more videos focusing on one game at a time, just because I think it would improve the searchability of some of my videos. The Dragon Age video I did decently, actually, which I was surprised about. So I think I'm going to be doing more videos like that eventually, but I bought these three games here. This is the original Dragon Age. I love this. The artwork kind of connects. This is the expansion here with all the additional content. I know these games are probably better off played on PC, but I just like the idea of playing them on the Xbox. I remember back in the day when I worked at GameStop, always seeing these for the Xbox and thinking that they looked kind of interesting. So I just really heavily associate them with the Xbox. And then we've got Dragon Age 2 here, which I know a lot of people don't like this one. I haven't tried it out yet. I know it's more of an action RPG, but I like action RPGs, so maybe I'll find some enjoyment in this one when I do eventually play it. And yeah, it's just nice having these games where no matter how old they get, they're on the disc, you put them in the console, you own the game, and it's great. Let's open these up too. Love the artwork. I really loved what I played of Dragon Age Origins here. I never beat it though, but I might go back to it at some point. I don't really know why I stopped playing it, I just did, but it's just one of those things, Last here, I think I realized we kind of went in like reverse alphabetical order a little bit, so next up here, spoilers. Next up here, we have Battlefield 3. This was another one of those games I picked up for a couple bucks at Salvation Army, and this was another one of those games that back when I worked at GameStop, we just had, like, you could fill an entire shelf with how many copies of this game we would have for both PS3 and the Xbox 360 here, but it was probably pretty popular for a reason. Again, I was just not into these types of games back then, but I would love to jump in and check out the campaign on this one soon. Once again, just paid like $2 for it, so can't go wrong. Collecting games is is definitely a hobby of mine, but I'm not one of those people who's chasing after things because of the value or the prices. I really do just purchase things that I'm interested in playing. I don't resell. I never, I never sell anything that I buy. It's all just for me. It's all personal. And I know a lot of people get annoyed, like collectors going like, "Oh, I bought all these games and I haven't played any of them." Like, I hope I don't sound like that. I really am just a very passionate video game player and collector, but I don't like to think of myself as a collector. I like to think of myself as just someone who enjoys a lot of video games and accidentally buys too many of them sometimes, but is not trying to collect because I just like owning the things. I do like playing games. I just want to make that clear because, sometimes I watch collection videos and I'm just like, this guy sounds like an asshole, but I'm not trying to be like that. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. This is the last game that I want to show today, and this is Armored Core 4. I've been really into mecha stuff recently. I like watching robots fly around and blow things up, and I like the explosions and everything. This game is also on the PS3, but the Xbox 360 version here was just a lot cheaper, and this is a series that I do want to get around to very soon. But yeah, that is the last 360 game here that I've bought recently, and that's my little stack of games that I've kind of collected for this console over pretty much the last year. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this collection video. I haven't made anything like this in quite a while, but I do enjoy making these in addition to my scripted content that I usually put out on the weekend. So let me know what you think down below. What are your thoughts on the Xbox 360? Did you grow up with one? Did you play it at a friend's house? Or are you like me, where you were more of a Nintendo kid and you're just kind of getting into different stuff like this now? But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.